Well, hello folks, welcome to my 100th video. I did say I was going to do something a bit different from a 100th video. I would have been none the wiser about this being my 100th video if someone hadn't pointed it out to me, so cheers Dave. I'm walking down the Long Nidri to Haddington railway line, or what used to be the railway line in East Lothian, Scotland, because this is my local branch line basically. It was closed to passenger traffic about, I think it was 1948, and it closed to goods in the 1960s at some point. At the spot I'm in at the moment, you can see behind me there, that grassy bit, that's an old loading platform. This is what was known as the Cottyburn siding. We'll just go round the back of it actually. It's a horrible day, it's what we call dreich here in Scotland. I'd hoped for a nice day to do this as well, but there you go. But around here, there you go, you can just see the stonework of the old loading platform. So what was the loading platform is now a picnic site. Nice spot though. So one advantage of filming this today when the weather's a bit crap is no joggers, no cyclists, no horses. It's quite a popular walk, this old railway line. The East Coast Main Line is just over there in the distance where that castle is. That's Red House Castle. So you're probably wondering what this has got to do with the Hornby J36. Well, if you'd stood on this bridge about 85 years ago, that's what you would have seen coming along the track there. That's what used to run between Haddington and Long Nidri, was a J36 steam locomotive. So I've really wanted a J36 because of that, and the only J36 on the market is the Hornby one, and you don't really get them used, so I've had to buy a brand new locomotive. So let's get to the bench and have a look at a brand new Hornby J36. And here it is. I've literally just got this off the postman. I'm just taking it out of the box that it came in. This is the first locomotive I have ever bought brand new. You know, when I was little, all the locomotives were given to me. They were all brand new, but they were all given to me as presents. Since then, everything I've got has been, you know, second hand. But, like I said, the only way to get hold of one of these was to actually buy a brand new one. So this is the very first brand new locomotive I have ever bought in my entire life. So, yeah, quite an occasion, really. And that was why I thought it'd be a great thing to do for my 100th video. Something a little bit different, and probably not something I'm likely to repeat. Not in a hurry anyway. So, it's an early BR J36 class. This is the Haig number 65311. On the back there, some nice little technical drawings. So let's open it up. And there she is. Okay, so how do we get into this? I don't want to damage the box, but I'm not really a big box freak. How on earth do I get into this without... Ah, of course, you don't get into it. This comes out. What an idiot. See, that just shows what an old fuddy-duddy I am. You'd think that the box should open up. But of course, the little shunter that I got sent was exactly the same. So, we've got a blah-de-blah pamphlet, brake rods. Oh, this has got all sorts of little fiddly things to get broken that you can add on. Lubrication, blah blah blah. So it does tell you a lot of useful stuff there. Okay, we shall have a look at that later. But let's get into this. So it slides out. And then I think... So we've got pipes and brake rods and a front coupling and a snowplow thing by the looks of it. So little bits and pieces that can break and fall off and all that. Right, okay. Lift that up, and there it is. Just lift it out. Okay. Oh, there's a wire going to the tender. I don't think it's tender driven, so maybe collecting current from the tender as well. Not a bad idea if that's what it's doing. Very nice model, have to say. It's quite heavy. So the interior of the cab is super detailed. I mean, there's no denying it, you know, these new models, the detail on them is superb. Even if it does feel like you could break it very, very easily. But it's really nice. Just have a look underneath. Made in China. How many screws we've got underneath? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws and the drawbar screw. And the tender's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so lots of little screws, but I would rather have screws and clips, so that's okay. Just like you see the underside there. Right, nothing more to be said. I think we've got to get this on the track and see if it works. Just be like the thing, you know, make a big deal about getting a new locomotive, but it just doesn't go. Let's go and stick it in the lathe and see how it runs. Okay, let's turn on the power slowly. Well, what can you say? So that runs super smooth and super quiet, which I suppose is what you would expect from a brand new locomotive. Going to really enjoy running this. I am desperate to get some maroon coaches for it, so it will look exactly like the train that used to run along that branch line that I showed you. So let's hook it up to some BR coaches and see how it performs. So pretty much a faultless performance there, but I'm going to take it to the bench and have a bit of a closer look at it, and we'll maybe fit the front coupling and some of the other wee bits and bobs. So let's take it to the bench. So as you may know, this comes in two other versions. There's an LNER one and there's a North British one. I particularly wanted this one, the British Railways one, which is called Haig. The North British one is called Maud, and it's really, really pretty. It's a really nice looking locomotive. I did swither a bit, but you know, this is the one, it would be a British Railways one like this that would have run up and down that branch line, so this is the one I wanted. I'm going to have a wee close look at it. We're going to fit some of the detail parts, and I'm also going to have a look inside. I know it's a brand new locomotive, but I just want to know what's in there. I've put it on the test track here because I want to just check that it is picking up power from the tender. So it does move. So if I lift the locomotive and turn on the power, Yes, it is. So it is getting power from the tender as well as the locomotive. Yes, excellent. That's why this thing has absolutely no bother going over points. You know, the conductivity is superb. I should say that I don't feel I can do a fair review on this because, you know, I've got nothing to compare it to other than all my old locomotives, which is not a fair comparison at all. I don't have other brand new locomotives. As I say, this is the first one I've ever bought, so I've not really got much to compare it with. So I can only review it in isolation. You know, I can only give you my thoughts and opinions on this particular model, but not in any way can I compare it to anything else that's out there on the market. My only criticism of it, having said all that, is the tender is very, very light. So I'm going to open up both the locomotive and the tender, but I would like a wee bit more weight in there. So if there's any room for a chunk of lead in there, I think I'll maybe add one. Okay, so according to the instructions, to remove the body from the locomotive, I have to undo the screw at the front there and this screw on the drawbar. So we shall undo this first. Part of me is doing this out of curiosity because I just want to see what's inside. But you know, at some point I would have to do it. So, right, that screw out and small crosshead screw in there, like so. Does this just lift out? Yes, it does. So let's take it out the sponge, turn it over, and then this just should lift off. There we go. And there's a good weight to that body, so it's not plastic. That's actually surprised me. You know, I fully expected that to be plastic, but that's metal. That's die cast. I think the cab here is plastic, but that's metal. Sprung buffers, by the way. Let's have a wee look at the motor. The worm gear there has been nicely greased up. Couple of flywheels. Just let you see that close up there. Very simple little motor. Putting a worm gear in there, and there'll be gears that drive the wheels. I'm not going to remove the underframe, leave that for another day, but that has satisfied my curiosity as to what is in the locomotive. Okay, so we'll put the body back on. It's a nice simple fit, no nonsense. Pop this screw back in. And now we'll see if we can remove the tender body. So the instructions say to undo these two screws at the front. Okay, both screws off. Does this just comes away. Nice, a little clip at the back there, but nothing too drastic. This is where all the DCC gubbins is. Is there room for any added weight in there? Do you know, it's kind of a pity that that's not made of metal, just to have given this a bit more weight. Okay, I don't think I'm going to add any weight at the moment. I think I'll see how it runs. If it becomes a problem, I'll maybe come back and look to see if I can add some weight. But I did notice when I was running it that the tender kind of jumped about a wee bit going over points, especially in reverse. And it's just a lack of weight. But with all that going on, there's not an awful lot of room, because it's quite a shallow tender. There's not an awful lot of room in there for weight. We'll maybe worry about that another time. Let's pop this back on. Okay, so we've had a wee look inside both the locomotive and the tender. So let's add some of these bits and bobs. Right, okay, what have we got here? We've got front coupling, which I am going to fit, because I quite fancy the idea of this actually pushing stuff as well as pulling. So we've got vacuum pipes and all sorts of little things. Right, they don't just push in, they have to be glued. They should be permanently fixed. Okay, dokie. Put that in there like that. Okay, try and fit this. No idea what it is, but we'll try and fit it where it's supposed to go. That one in there. There. That's far too fiddly. I mean, it doesn't really make it very clear in the instructions how you fit those, other than just bunging them on. Okay, how do these fit on? Again, the instructions just say they go in there. So I'm assuming. Oh, I see. Right, okay, those clip in. There it goes. So that's the locomotive brake rods in. There, that's my brake rods in. And now we'll just fit this front coupling. And there we go. We're done. So there we are, that's my brand new Hornby R3622 early BR J36 class. Really, really nice little thing. Runs an absolute treat, as you would expect a brand new locomotive to run to do so nowadays, I would hope. I'm interested to hear about your experiences with brand new locomotives. You know, do some of them not run well? Are there good ones and bad ones? I don't know. I mean, as I say, I've got nothing to compare this with. Anyway, I'm going to stick this back in the layout and have a play. So, I thought I would take this opportunity to say a big, huge thank you to everyone who's watched my videos, to those who subscribed, commented, liked, disliked, and an extra huge thanks to those who've donated, either through buying me a coffee or the stuff that I've been sent as a gift, and of course to anyone who's sent me locomotives for servicing. I really do appreciate the trust that you put in me to look after your locomotive and get it working again. I never expected this channel to be anything like as successful as it's been, so it kind of took me a bit by surprise. But it's been fun, and but it's getting a little bit of feedback from people. That some of the comments and the emails I've had, I get a lot of emails. It's just been reassuring to know that what I'm doing, people are watching, and it just makes it all feel worthwhile. So thanks to everyone who's emailed me as well. If I haven't responded to any email, it's purely just down to, I can't answer them all. It's just, I really do try to answer them all, but I know there have been a few emails that I've just not responded to for one reason or another. Next video will be back to business as usual. It'll be a repair video, and probably the two after that will be repair videos as well. But I do want to try and put a running session together soon. Obviously that'll feature this. And I've got a couple of other ideas for videos just to try and mix up the content a wee bit. And I think we'll do another Hornby catalogue video as well quite soon. So we'll see. But yeah, again, thanks to everyone. Really do appreciate your guys' support and all your comments and everything. It's been a lot of fun this past year doing this, and I'm looking forward to what happens in the future with it. Anyhow, right, I'll catch you later. Let's get this thing out again.